For weeks, I've seen posts on social media about teacher shortages. Then they complain about low pay, about the hours, about the roles. I'd feel sorry for them, but they keep doing stuff like this. And if you have TikTok, who's hiring these lunatics?
A clip of a Clay County father speaking at a school board meeting has now gone viral, putting the topic of what's in the county school libraries in the national spotlight. Some parents claim certain books there contain obscene material, but some school board members insist the allegations are being blown out of proportion. They add that they are always willing to investigate any concerns. News4Jax reporter Scott Johnson talked with the father in the video and with board members.
This issue started to get really public following the June 30th Clay School Board meeting when a Middleburg father tried to read excerpts from a book he says was on the shelf at the Fleming Island High School library.
A school library for children, for minors. Oh, and just to set the record straight, there are two genders. You can't switch up. This isn't baseball.
I'm going to stop you right there, sir. I'm going to stop you right there.
Turn the microphone off.
Turn off his microphone, please. I've told you I'm stopping you. The reason I'm stopping you is because these meetings are, if you'll hush your mouth for a minute and listen instead of just talking, you may learn something.
I think maybe the school board has forgotten that they work for the parents, the ones who pay property taxes. Sorry to say, if that jackoff had spoken to me that way, I might have gone to jail.
The school board lawyer tried to shut him down from speaking because he didn't want any sort of pornographic or potentially obscene material streamed over their YouTube channel to the public.
So according to the attorney, he knew the book was pornographic. Isn't exposing children to sexual material a crime?
I talked to a First Amendment lawyer about that. He says there's actually less regulations on something like that. You can put more things out over the internet than you could if they were, say, broadcasting it live on a television channel.
That's not the issue. That's a school, not someone's house. It's a place for young people, children, minors.
I spoke with the father, Bruce Friedman, who's been interviewed by national media outlets over this. He read us some excerpts from one book called Lucky by Alice Sebold, which we can't air on TV. The book involves a woman's graphic retelling of a sexual assault.
Can't air on TV. But this book is in a school library. Key word, school.
They're trying to sexualize and normalize deviant behavior. Sexualizing our children is grooming. It is not acceptable. It is illegal. Lawyer wasn't concerned about that. He was concerned about being embarrassed if I read some bad words.
The father is 100% correct. Let me read the legal definition of grooming. The offense of grooming concerns predatory conduct undertaken to prepare a child for sexual activity at a later time. The offense applies where an adult communicates by words or contact with a child under the age of 16 years or with a person who has care, supervision, or authority for the child with the intention of facilitating the child's involvement in sexual conduct, either with the groomer or another adult. Grooming does not necessarily involve any sexual activity or even discussion of sexual activity. For example, it may only involve establishing a relationship with the child, parent, or carer for the purpose of facilitating sexual activity at a later time.
A group called Moms for Liberty has spearheaded these efforts targeting specific books and says they've identified 26 books in the library that they deem inappropriate. Only 1 or 2 have been removed so far. That includes an illustrated book called Gender Queer, which contains sexual depictions drawn inside.
Let me reiterate, school library.
But I sat down with school board member Janice Karakas, who says this is being overblown, and Clay has a system in place to report inappropriate material in the school library.
Well, loony leftists don't consider much inappropriate from some of their TikTok accounts.
Do you think it's misinformation?
Absolutely. I think we have a process in place that, when something is brought to our attention, if it's a book in the media center, it will immediately be removed. and reviewed. And on the review committee, there's 6 different people on the committee. We just set a policy last meeting to address that.
Misinformation. The guy tried to read it for you, word for word, and your own attorney said it was sexually explicit. Let me guess, the Russians.
Parents who believe this is a major issue for Clay are organizing and going through books right now. Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
I'll say it one more time. This is a school library, not a public library. Their job is not to indoctrinate, but to educate. If you want your kids to read the books, buy it. They're on Amazon. Or go to the public library and take it out. Public library.
School district administrators say they adopted a policy at the June 30th meeting where parents can report material in a school library which they regard as obscene. Moms for Liberty tells News4Jax they feel the process the district has instituted is too cumbersome.
In other words, you can report it if it makes you feel better, but we're mentally ill, and we need to share that mental illness with your kids.